welcome back to a new video. This one is going to be a medium length one on NIO. We're going to have a look at some of the fundamentals, give a few of my thoughts on this company going forwards, but this is not going to be an in-depth fundamental analysis. Don't get me wrong, if this video gets enough views, if enough of you guys do leave a like, I definitely can do an in-depth fundamental analysis like what we did for Naked Brands only yesterday. I would be more than happy to do that on NIO because I do like the company, I do like the potential of this company as well. Anyway, this is a video that Dan from Discord did ask me to take a look at, so here we are. We're going to be having a look at NIO because since we last looked at it ever so long ago, a lot has happened for the company and a lot has happened for the share price. So last time we looked at NIO ever so long ago, we have seen the price actually fall from highs up here of like 62 all the way down here, all the way down to the $35 range. And if you'd have bought NIO at 35 and held until now, you would have made some decent returns, almost doubling your money, but there we go. So yes, NIO has seen a bit of a consistent growth most recently. Let's have a look at if this can continue for the company. Again, nobody knows for sure, but in this one I'm giving some of my personal thoughts and opinions. If you may enjoy, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe. Remember, this is not financial advice. I know all of you do know that by now, but it's just for my safety and for yours as well, I will remind you. But yes, do subscribe. Join us on Twitter at N2S Finance. You can find it down here. Yes, I post all the time. And you can also join us on Patreon. Link to the Patreon is down below. Also, Google markets-daily.com. Markets-daily.com is your place for all sorts of information on the stock market and cryptos. You can also find a link to it down below in the description next to the Patreon and the Discord. But yes, now we're going to jump in and have a look at NIO. We're going to start off here actually looking at how this one has been moving based on some decent news that we do have. So this one actually came out on July the 1st, which ever so happened to be my birthday. So there we go. So July the 1st of 2021, we saw that NIO shakes off a chip shortage with more than 8,000 deliveries in June. This is a big number and it really is quite a good number looking for NIO. So NIO said Thursday that it delivered 8,083 vehicles in June, bringing the second quarter total to 21,896 cars, according to a release. The quarterly figure came onto a high end of NIO's forecast for deliveries of between 21 and 22,000 vehicles in the 3 months ended June. And we can see that June figures also brought deliveries for the first half of the year in to more than 41,900, close, surpassing total of last year. So one thing that we can tell from this straight away is that NIO is doing phenomenally well when it comes to people actually purchasing their vehicles. The numbers are vastly outperforming last year, and that is something which we can expect to continue into the future years, in my personal opinion, for many reasons. One of them is because of NIO and their unique cars, which we'll look at when we look at a bit more of a fundamental analysis of the company. But again, you can find this out for yourself. Yes, NIO's cars are relatively cheap for what they are, and they actually do offer some interesting technology. I think that could help the business, but also we do actually have the EV market share as a whole. You guys will know that we are trying to move away as a world from things like petrol and diesel or gasoline and diesel when it comes to our vehicles, just because of the amount of emissions that they produce and the harm that does to the environment. Now, some countries have got it completely correct. We are seeing countries like Norway out there with the majority of their vehicles being plug-ins or even full electric vehicles, and electric vehicles over there account to about 80% of all cars sold, and this was back in 2020. And we have a very small number of petrol and diesels amounting to about 10.5% in total, and even hybrids only about 9.5%. So again, they have the majority of their vehicles which are electric. Now, it is also important to note that a lot of countries are behind the curve. We've seen other countries when we look down here which are not necessarily as far in front. We've seen countries down here like Netherlands, we've seen Germany and others which aren't using electric cars as much. So it is still big over there, but it is going to get bigger, I do expect, as there are multiple incentives coming forwards to make people want to take up electric vehicles, and that is really what we need. Because what I can tell you from my personal experience in the United Kingdom is that over here, a lot of people cannot really afford electric vehicles. For example, if you want to buy like a Tesla Model 3, which is considered relatively cheap, you still have to pay like 30 grand, where you could just spend like 1 grand for a diesel car. There's just no incentive for people to take the, more eco-friendly alternative. But over in other countries, like I said, they do definitely have it right, and I think more incentives will be coming, so people will be looking for more and more electric vehicles. And this brings me on to the topic which I always do mention. Tesla cars are cool, they're very nice, they have nice interiors, but they are not for me, and I'm sure they are not going to be for everyone as well. Some people like other sorts of designs, and again, once all electric vehicles are once all companies are electric vehicles, are you going to choose a Tesla Model S, or are you going to choose a Rolls-Royce if you can afford it, if they are both electric vehicles? And that brings in spaces in the market for new manufacturers, as well as NIO, which could definitely increase its market share going forwards. So what we are seeing right now in NIO is we are seeing decent sales numbers specifically in China. I think going forwards, if we can get better sales outside of China and continue the company growing as we can see, this could be a really big company. And again, what we are seeing so far is that the first half of the year is actually surpassing the total demand for cars last year, which is really, really good. I think that is something worth noting. So again, this year we're coming very close. We're hitting 41.9 thousand cars. Last year we sold 43.72 cars in the last whole year. So we can see that in the first half of this year we have almost passed that full estimate, and again for the whole year I think these numbers are going to be amazing. I think revenue figures are going to be up there as well, and that is something which I do like to see with NIO, and I think this company is poised for some really big growth going forwards into the long term. So as I always say with electric vehicle companies, yes, some of them are decent swing trades or even decent short-term trades, whether it be day trades or something else. Some of these are decent short-term trades, but I think specifically with NIO, for me, it is more of a long-term investment. If I was looking to buy NIO, I would hold this one for at least 24 months. I think a reasonable time period to expect this one to see massive growth would be in the next 5 years. I think in the next year, this one also does have big potential as well. I think we could see highs as high as $75 in my personal opinion in the next 6 to 12 months, maybe even higher than that if we do actually have this good news continue. But from what I can see, NIO from a delivery standpoint is doing phenomenally well. I think once revenue does start to pick up, we should see some big growth in share price coming NIO's way. Anyway, let's have a look at what we have seen in the past month. And we are actually seeing some big growth for NIO's share price in the past 30 days. NIO at the start of the month was on a price of 43. Right now we've gone up about $7, bringing us up to $50.29. So things are really moving in the right direction for NIO, and that is phenomenal. When we move out to the past 5 days, we have seen a big dip in price from these highs of 54, but it is important to note that we are still green for the week, ever so slightly, ever so just, but yeah, we are still in the green for the past 5 days. For today, we are seeing figures relatively flat. We are down by 0.22%, so basically nothing. But yes, we are seeing a bit of a decrease in price for NIO today. And some could argue that is just a bit of a sell-off that we would expect after seeing such phenomenal growth with NIO in the past month. Anyway, let's have a look on the more technical charts at what we are seeing. For this, we're going to start off actually looking at year to date. So the year-to-date figures that we are seeing a moving average figure down here of 41 and 28. So again, the share price is moving above that moving average after that very big strong rally upwards. I think that rally upwards was deserved. I don't think that the share price is overvalued right now. I think we are seeing a little bit of a sell-off, but I think we definitely could be back on the growth quite soon. But yes, that is the figures that we are seeing for the moving average. The RSI down here is at 64, so it's ever so slightly to the high side. Again, it is nowhere near overbought yet. So 80 would be overbought. Currently, we are sat on only 64. So again, 50 is neutral. You guys can tell it's really not that high, but it is ever so slightly to the upside. We're seeing a MACD figure, which is currently sat around 2. Again, MACD is in the bullish territory, but it's seeing a little bit of a cool off potentially after we did see that drop in price in the later part of the most recent period. Anyway, the past 3 months for NIO, zooming in a bit closer, we've seen a moving average figure still on 41.28, RSI 64, similar thing for the MACD. Moving a bit closer, we can see this in a bit more clear light, and actually going in a little bit closer, we can see figures down here. On the 5-day, we are seeing a moving average at 50 and 3 exactly. We are seeing an RSI at 60. And we are seeing a pretty neutral MACD as well. Past day specifically, if you were wondering, we can see a moving average of 50 and 18. We're seeing a RSI figure at 54, pretty neutral. Similar thing for the MACD, which I believe could be starting to turn bearish after we saw that big drop off. But again, that doesn't really matter on the 1-day charts too much in my personal opinion. Because when I look at NIO, as I did mention, I see this one as more of a long-term hold. I know some people will disagree with me with the company being from China and things like that. I do completely understand that. Again, NIO, like every single company that we talk about on this channel, it's not going to be for everybody. You know, no stock is. But I think, NIO does have a lot of potential. I think the company is looking good. It's definitely turning itself into a decent company. Figures are looking really good. And if we can continue that into the end of the year, if we can get some blowout reports, some massive numbers, I would be very, very happy with how NIO has advanced in the past 12 months. So thank you for watching. I'll try and keep you guys updated on NIO if you do enjoy it. So thank you for watching through till the end. But let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.